Okay, wait for those people to populate and then we'll get them back on here. So if you were watching me earlier on Facebook Live, people weren't able to hear, so I did sign off and come back on again. So this is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, and I am your Akashic Records reader and energy shift advisor, but not really good at the technical stuff. So if you're jumping on here and you can hear me, if you can put a comment down below here on Facebook and let me know. All right. And then in the meantime, we're going to read the Akashic Records. And if any of you have a question, let me know. I've got some Akashic Records here that I am shuffling and a reading here. And so anyway, what's going on is that we have a full moon, and the full moon is it's December 7th, 2022, and it's really shifting the bioelectromagnetic frequency of our minds. So the electric of our minds is being stimulated, and that means that we are shifting a lot. So I have heard a lot of people that their marriages all of a sudden popped, and one person left, and the other person stayed. And then I've heard people talk to me about how they suddenly just lost a job abruptly, and the job didn't suit them anymore. And so I've also heard about people that their lives just abruptly changed because of their health issues. And so this is what's happening, and it's happening to so many people, but you're only in your own world, your own little box. And so all you understand is your life, your position. And I'm here to let you know that there's a lot of sensitive, highly sensitive people, star seeds and empaths that are feeling this. And it's a shaking up of your spiritual conscious awareness. All right, so I'm going to check over here with my Facebook people and ask them if they can hear now. Make sure that they can hear what's going on. And anyway, so if you have a question again on Facebook, go ahead and post it down here below. And it looks like my Instagram peeps are being a little quiet. So hello to everybody. If you've got questions, put them down here below. And I'm going to do a couple. Yes. Okay, good. So PETA, thank you. Can you put your question back down there again and we'll answer your question? And so anyway, what's happening on our is that we're being asked to shift and up level our game. We're being asked as highly sensitive empath starseeds to bring the love and light, to bring that love and light into this planet and anchor it. And a lot of you say, hey, I don't know how to do that. What does that mean? So here it is. What happens is you're probably right now, there's something, either everything is blown up in your life or it's going extremely fast and you can't make sense of it and you feel like you're in overwhelm and you just can't get there fast enough. So by going inside yourself and you see what's bothering you, what's holding you back, what's going on, that is the darkness inside. That is what you have to dump in order to shine your light. And what I found over the last 2 weeks, I was going 90 to nothing. I had things going on in my personal life that I felt like I couldn't control. I had things in my business life that I was trying to get done, plus working with the clients and all this stuff. And it was just, and I couldn't get anything done. And I was stressed out, overwhelmed, and I'm like, I can't keep this up. So I started talking to my guides. I started talking to my angels. I started talking to God Spirit Source, and I said, I can't serve the public like this. What the heck is going on? And that's when I became aware that there was still a shadow self locked up in my heart and locked up in my gut. And for those of you that are new into this, shadow self means your dark side, your damaged side, your not so happy side. So all of us have that. And 2 years ago, I was helping people to shift in their life and to work through their shadow stuff. And if you look up 2019 and 2020, a lot of people in metaphysics were talking about that. And so what's happening now is that this quickening or waking up is happening again. So many of you are starting to feel that again, and sometimes new people just waking up. So, all right, I'm going to answer PETA's questions, and because she was kind enough to tell me that we were back up and running. And if I have one question over here on Instagram. Okay, so I will take you next. I'm so glad you all hung with me. Thank you. Like I said, I'm a Akashic Records reader, an energy shift advisor. Been doing that for years. Used to do energy shift updates every week. And I am a medium. I talk to all kinds of beings and shift energies and clear houses of dark energy and entities. But when it comes to working with the stuff that, for filming and audio, not my thing. But I do the best I can. Mwah. Anyway, all right. PETA, you said, will my finances get better soon? Will I find my partner soon? Oh, PETA, my dear, that's two separate questions, but I'm going to do the best I can to give you a reading so you can understand what's happening. All right. Oof, PETA, my dear. So PETA's question is, will my finances get better soon? And will I find my partner soon? So I shuffled the cards for her with that in mind. And the first thing I got for you, PETA, is called the Architect. And this is a card of what's been happening in your past regarding finances. Okay, it's the one of keys is what they call it. And so part of the key of your life is to build your own self-value and your own self-worth. And that's true for a lot of women. A lot of times we don't hold our value because society, at least in the country I've lived in, women could not sign for a mortgage on their own home until 1974, if I'm not mistaken. 1974, that wasn't very long ago. And that was the first time a woman without her dad's signature or a large amount of money or her husband's signature could purchase a home on her own. And if she purchased a home on her own back then, she had to pay cash for it, everything, tax, title, and license. So you, PETA, are an architect of your own future. And so you're going to stand on the shoulders of the women that have come before you and have built this beautiful structure. It's an Egyptian structure here, and the Pharaoh and his wife are overseeing things as things are being built. And you have that structure to work from of all the women that came before. So find your true inner strength. Find out what it is that makes you you. And that will lead you to a partner. Because the reason you're not attracting the partner that you want right now is because you're flexing and you're changing and you're growing. And for those of you who are listening that are married, you may find that your marriages went boom. You might have suspected something was going on or that your partner was not being faithful to you. And then, within the last week or two, you find out you were right. Now, is that everybody? No. So if you have a partner and you're watching this, don't look at each other and going, are you, it's just different things that are happening. So the second answer is the journey. So you were asking me, this is your present. It's called the journey. And watch for sevens showing up in your life, PETA. Because you making money is about the journey. What do you want to do with all your heart? Align yourself with that and do what you love, because that will get you through almost anything. And then the last one here on your Akashic record reading is the Queen of Keys. And we've read this one before, and I think its keys are interesting because they've turned up twice for you now, PETA. So a key can be like a lock, but in this case, it's a tune or a frequency. So it's the greater amount of self-love you find, the more you walk in your direct purpose, what you were born with, your skills, your gifts, the faster your money will change, especially the self-love bit. And the sooner you will draw in your partner. Because not to be rude, but who wants to draw in a partner right now and then 2 months from now, you got to get rid of them because they're dragging you down because you've grown so much. Okay? PETA, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight and asking that question and coming back because of the sound earlier. And big hugs and kisses to you. And PETA, let me see if I can find this real quick. I do have something else I wanted to share with you. You're welcome. She says, I love that. Thank you. All right. I'm going to have something I want to share with you all. Let me see if I can put this on here very quickly. And then Instagram, I'll get to your question here. And I want to grab something for you all. I'm going to be a little grabbing involved. Woohoo! Let's see here. And you all are just getting patience galore tonight, and I'm so appreciative of that. I do try to be on top of it. Some days are just better than others. All right. And meanwhile, while I'm looking for this, I want you all to put a question if you've got one down here. Okay, grab this real quick. And I wasn't planning on doing this, so that's why I'm going back. I've got to get a link for you all. And this link is going to be the one that's going to be very, very helpful for all of you. There it is. Okay. Grab this link. Okay. So I'm going to put this link down here in Facebook for you all. And for Instagram, it's in the bio. And what this is you all are ready that are watching this. You're being called to this work. And if you feel really called, you'd like to know how to talk to your spirit guides. You'd like to know how to talk to your angels and actually have them answer you back. A lot of people say they talk and they don't hear anything back. And develop this inner love, because that's what's going to guide us through 2023 is this inner love. Then that link, you can go over and review what we're going to be doing on Saturday, which has lots of juicy, yummy content about being able to connect with your guides, understand what they're saying, talk to your higher self, have open communication, and have the start of self-love. A lot of you don't know how to self-love, and you're always self-deprecating, and so we're going to learn about that, and I'm going to get you started. And what better Christmas present for yourself than to have the path to self-love that's with a mentor, that's in real time, that's easy, actionable steps you can actually do. And that's what's happening this Saturday. So if you want to get in on that, click on the link down here on Facebook and go find out about it. And if you're wanting to know about it here on Instagram, you have to pop over to the bio. Okay, so I'm going to do the next question. Hello, Heather. Good to see you. Okay, so Cameron said, should I shift my career around in the way that I had a light bulb moment about today? Just a second, Cameron. So Cameron's question is about, he had a light bulb moment today about his career, and he's wondering if he should shift his career around. Okay, and what's coming up in the Akashic record for you, Cameron, I'm going to go ahead and put this down, is the lookout. So Cameron, let me know you're still with me. Give me some hearts or something over here on Instagram. Let me know you're still there. But he had an aha moment. So Cameron, can you give me some hearts up? Let me know you're over there. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. So the lookout, thank you. Okay, the lookout here is his card. As you can see, there's some fires, and the guy's trying to look out to see if there's anything better on the horizon. And there's fires on his ship. So Cameron, what that means is there's some things that are in your current position in your career that are on fire. That means that there's certain things that won't be viable in the next several months. I hear 5 years. There's things that won't be viable in 5 years. So there's some jobs that are being phased out because of artificial intelligence. So, you'd want to get a job where artificial intelligence couldn't phase you out. And I know that's not your situation, Cameron, but that's what I'm getting. So look into your future, see what's there. If you make that career change, what are the possibilities? And if you got a light bulb moment, that means that your divine higher self's working with you already and you know the answer. But thank you for asking, because I know we work together and you trust that. So thank you. But that's the answer to your question. I'm going to close that out. All right, let's go back over here to Facebook. Okay, Robin, good. I'll see you soon. Okay, Rosanna, if you are still with me. Good. Cameron says heart, heart, heart. Okay, Rosanna, if you're still with me, says hi. What is 2023 looking like for me? If you're still there, Rosanna, can you give me a thumbs up? So I want to make sure that I get you the information that you're looking for. So if you can give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Okay, good. Now I know you're with me. Good. Thank you. Okay. Okay, good. So you want to know what it's looking for you like in 2023? What I'm hearing in my head, I'm not even shuffling the cards there, Rosanna, is what I'm hearing for you is that some doors are going to be opening and some doors are going to be closing. And I know anybody could say that on any reading to anybody. But what I'm saying to you, Rosanna, is that when a door opens, it's going to be real apparent, kind of like Cameron earlier when he had the light bulb moment about his career. It'll be very, and I'm getting goose pimples. I don't know if you all can see that on camera, but anytime I get goose pimples, I know I am right on the money. And so what's happening, Rosanna, is when these doors open, it's going to be made really apparent to you, and then another door is going to close, and it's going to close hard, and that's going to be your 2023. You're going to be going through things that God's Spirit or Source is opening up for you. Boom, 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 boom. So don't look back. Be ready to be mobile in your decisions, okay? Please don't put all your gold in one outcome because it won't work for you. And that has a lot to do with your current financial situation. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close that out, Rosanna. Thank you so much. Also, I want to let you all know that I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver this coming up Thursday and Friday. And those of you know that Friday is the discounted session day. So it's, let's see, it's a $32 discount on a session. So that's quite a big deal. So if you want to know more about these things privately, Rosanna, if you're like, gosh, I really need to know more details about the doors, whether doors will be opening for finances or romance or whatever, call the store at 303-964-9339. That's 303-964-9339 and get on my books in Denver. And that you can come see me live in Denver. That's the only place I'm now seeing people in person because my private practice schedule is so full that that's the only place I have left. So yes, Rosanna says thank you and I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited too. And then Rosanna, if you would, I'm going to put in the feed again, the upcoming event I have. If you just check that out, it might be of use to you because it talks a lot about your feelings in your heart. All right, let's see where my next question is. All right. I've got another question. It says, Heather, hi, Heather. Money and career, would love to be stable and care for my mom. You look very beautiful. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you. Big hugs and kisses to you. Thank you so much. All right, Heather, let's have a look and see about your mom and you and your stable career. So what I'm hearing for you, Heather, is that your career, there's some really big obstacles in it. They just your guides keep showing me boulders, that are like immovable. And I'm not sure why that is or what's going on for you, Heather. But I would recommend that you look at your career path and see what's standing in your way. Is there somebody keeping you from taking the next step forward? Is there somebody who is asking you to do something that you're not willing to do? It just feels like stumbling blocks, like stones, that are keeping you from going forward. And whatever that is keeping you from making more money, which is keeping you from taking care of your mom. So really look at that and see if somebody's maybe holding you in a position. I know in corporate that used to happen to me where I'd be at a position and I did so good at it that they wanted me to stay right there. And I thought if I did good that they would give me a promotion or they'd make me a manager, and they didn't do it because they liked where I was. So they would move everybody above me. And that's what it feels like for you. So I hope that answers your question. If not, Like I was saying before there, Heather, I will be this Thursday in Denver, Colorado at For Heaven's Sakes Books. And you can give them a call at 303 964 9339. And I will be there Thursday and Friday to help all of you through what's going on right now. And Friday is what they call Fair Friday. So it's a discount. And that day really fills up pretty fast for me. And because the session is, let's see, $32 less, and that's a lot of savings for money. And so those times fill up fast. You can book a half hour, an hour, just call the store, and 303-964-9339. And if you need any more help than that, if you will go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact and tell me that you need some more help, then I'm willing to answer those questions via email. And if you're having trouble finding an appointment time or something, just let me know. Okay, here we go. Oh, Heather says currently unemployed and in Georgia. Okay, Heather, can you tell me, why you're unemployed? Because that must be that they keep showing me 3 stones, in your way. There's something that's keeping you, it's a stumbling block, and I'm not sure what that is. Maybe there's something about, the area you're living in maybe doesn't have a job suitable for someone, in your skill set. So there's something there, but feel free to reach out to me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that off. And now I'm going to go back over here to Facebook and take a Facebook question. All right, let's see here. All right, Jan, sorry. Jan, glad to have you aboard tonight. And it says here, I am waiting on a position with the company I am with. Will it come through before the end of the year? Ooh, Jan, I got a big no on that. It feels like they're going to move you into that position, but they're not going to start you. It's like they're waiting for the end of the year so they can close out their physical year. So I would find out if your company has a fiscal year or a physical year. And a physical year means that they close their books at the end of December. And by giving you that new position, that might add a different financial dynamic that the company doesn't want because they're trying to keep the insurance costs for themselves lower. So that's what it feels like for me. So Jan, thank you so much for your question. And that's what it feels like for me. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. All right, let's look back over here at Instagram. If anybody has any more questions, please put them in the chat below. And then it looks like, I love it. Jan says it is physical, and that makes so much sense. I'm so glad, Jan, that you were able to identify with that. All right, let's see here. If there's any more questions. Okay. So it looks like, okay, you're welcome, Jan. Okay. And the next question I have is Joita. Says, how will my business perform in 2023? Oh, Joita. Your business will be so amazing. Basically, again, what I'm hearing for you, Joita, is that your business, you're asking me if it's going to be better in 2023. You're facing 2 obstacles in 2023, one in January and one in June. So write that down, one in January, one in June. And the obstacles that you're currently going to face in that have to do with your heart and your mindset. So if your mindset is into making money off the value that you bring to other people's lives, then you're going to be doing really good. But something's going to happen in January that's going to be kind of iffy, that may knock you off your game for a while. I've been there, done that. And then you're going to be back up on your game, and then there'll be something coming at you in June. And if you can get things nailed down in January, as far as what do you bring to the world and what is your message and what are you sharing, people will buy from you. They'll buy a service, or it feels more like a service is what you're doing. They will buy from you. And then in June, something's going to happen and you'll have to reclaim that space for yourself. And so that's what it looks like to me. It doesn't feel like it's really a bad upset, but it's an upset. So anyway. All right. Well, I'm waiting for more questions. If that resonates with you, Joey, go ahead and put this down here below. So, for those of you that are just joining on Instagram and Facebook, my name is Deanna, and I am the founder of toolsofenergyprotection.com and the Spiritual Awakening Academy division, which we're going to be starting up a brand new semester in mid-January. And so, if you're interested in that, you can always go over to here to my bio on Instagram and send me a message. Or if you're on Facebook, you can private message me if you're interested in that, where we're going to be teaching more. However, right now, the super exciting news is that our world is just kind of shaking up everybody. Okay, so every single person is facing a challenge. Some people tell me it feels like their life has exploded and everything's suddenly different. Some people tell me that they had a relationship that was working or kind of working, and all of a sudden that's blown up. I've had other people say they unexpectedly lost their jobs, and I've had other people tell me that their finances just went crazy. Okay. But most of us, as starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, have felt in the last couple of months, especially the last week, in overwhelm. Can I get a thumbs up, an angry face, or a smiley face from my Facebook audience so I know that you're with me? And what about over here on Instagram? Can I get some hearts to show me that you have been feeling this way, just like that? It's just overwhelming no matter what you do, and no matter where you turn, you're having trouble. Okay, because that's what all of my clients and some of my friends who are highly sensitive, empaths, and starseeds have been reporting back to me. And when I see it oh, good, hearts over here, thank you. And when I see that in my client base, one or two people, that's one thing. But when I start seeing it with many, many people over and over again, I'm like, oh, there must be something up. And so right now, in December 7th, 2022, we have a full moon, at least where I live here in Loveland, Colorado. And that full moon has energy in it. Okay. In the Old Testament, they used to talk about lunacy and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of our legends say, that when the moon comes out, these werewolves come out and all this other stuff. And what it is that your body is salt, water, and electric. Okay. So your physical body is based on a heart that's run by electricity, right? That's why when the paramedics come out and they rub that thing together when somebody's had a heart attack and they put it on it and say clear, that's because they're putting an electrical charge in to start you again. So your brain is mostly water. Go look it up if you don't believe me, or look it up if you've got books. And so you've got water, mostly water in your brain, and you've got salt in there and electrical impulses that help you think. So your body is salt, water, and electric. If that makes sense to you, can you give me a thumbs up, a smiley face, something? Let me know that you're out there. Stick with me. This is a big, big thing. So if your body is salt, water, and electric, all in the little container. Great. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. And the moon, when they study science, this is science, people, not woo woo. The moon, they would a lot of the different people that study the movement of the planets. What they noticed is when the moon moved in a certain direction, the ocean tide would pull back from the shore. And then when the moon went in another direction, it would bring the water back again. And depending on the placement of the moon and the planet and which, seashore you're on or coastal front, it would determine how the water moved. So if that beautiful moon can move salt water and electric of the ocean, salt water and electric, there's actually electric in our oceans and our seas. And if that moon can pull the water in such a way on the surface of a planet to make it do that, it's going to affect the human bioelectromagnetic frequency. Yes? Right? It's science. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up, an amen? Over here on Facebook, I'm going to be funny, or you're crazy. Okay. So, um, okay, Tammy, I'll get to your question in just a minute. Thank you. I got some more questions. So, what that means is that as our earth, which has been set in motion by, the divine creator source of all, And that is coming to a position where it's causing us as humans for our minds, our frequencies to change. It's called the heartbeat of the earth. And as that pressure is changing on your human mind, it changes your thoughts in your mind and your emotions. And a lot of that's getting stirred up, has been for years. This is no news. What is the news is that right before this full moon, about 2 weeks before, some people felt a couple months before, and for 2 weeks to 2 months after, a lot of twos, that's going to cause different people that have been asleep for so long. And what do I mean by asleep? They're walking through this world going, oh, here's problems, here's issues, here's what's going on in the world scene. This is life, and I go to work and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, they're like, I have a mission. I have something I'm supposed to be doing. It's not what I've been doing in my 9 to 5 gig. It's not this. And they're just bursting with this light that they don't understand. If you know somebody like this, please share the video or please share my website with them. Because what's happening is that the inside of them, the soul, the spirit that came here to be on this Schmegan planet at this time in this space has been developing as a regular human being for a long time. And now God's Spirit or Source says it is time for you to wake up because the world needs more light. So if you don't have a mission, if you don't have a life path and you're listening to me, this is why you're listening to me. It is by divine timing that you're hearing my voice. And you're going, wait a minute, this could be me. God's Spirit or Source is waking you up because this world has so much darkness on it and we all need the light. And you might be a light bringer. And if you're between the ages of about 27, 28, and about 38 years old, maybe 40, one of the reasons you came to this planet was to anchor in the light, which means you really don't have to do anything other than work on yourself. That's it. And I know that I could say, well, how easy is that? But we all know how challenging it could be when our human minds are in a certain framework. And they like to stay there. How many, oh, good, thank you for the hearts. How many of you tonight like the C word, change? How many of you go, yep, I'm going to change? You know, I've wanted to go to the gym for 4 or 5 years. I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, and I'll join on New Year's, and I'll quit in March. How many of you have been through something like that? Can I get an amen, a thumbs up? You felt like this. You start something for about 2 or 3 months, and you get it going, and all of a sudden you just quit. It wasn't because you weren't getting the results, but you just quit. You just couldn't do it anymore. That's because the human mind, once it gets set, oh, good, I got a thumbs up over here. Once the human mind gets set, thank you, Facebook, it likes to keep going in the same old cycle. Well, this human head that you have on, it's called a helm, HELM, a helm. That's why they call them helmets, because it is what directs the soul. And the soul's in the body, and it usually shines out through the light, the love, and connects with that. And there's been a disconnect between our heart, our love, and our heads. If you're into the Bible, it says the kingdom of God is within. Okay? If it doesn't resonate with you, just throw it out. I have a Jewish Christian background. And I kept reading in the Revelation because that is where this time is now. We are in the Revelation, book of Revelations, ladies and gentlemen. We are there. And it says in there, that we would rise up and meet Christ in the air. But it doesn't say the kingdom of heaven is in the air. It says the kingdom of heaven is within. It's two separate things. And I'll get off my soapbox before too many people go, uh-oh, she's talking religion, and check out. It's not the point. The point is that so many of you beautiful souls were raised in the church, raised in a religion. You don't fit in. You haven't fit in for a while, and you feel like you want to go back to church. You feel like you want to find spirit, God, or source, and you're not sure how. This is why. Because you were born to be a light, and the light knows that it's got to shed the poop that's been in your heart. I'm going to ask a very rude question, but I appreciate you responding. How many of you out there actively participate every day in self-love and have no fear and have no doubt? How many of you are like me and you say, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough? I don't know if I can do this. Here's a real painful one. Well, when I was growing up, my parents told me I was bad or wrong for something. My mother never loved me. I was never good enough to receive her love or her attention. Can I get an amen, a thumbs up? And if it wasn't your mom, maybe it was your dad. And little kids, they just want to be loved. And loved me to them means spending time with them because they recently came from the other side into a human body where there's no time up here. Okay? Their young spirit minds are still framing in this brain and they just want to spend time with you because when you have timelessness and love up here, the concept of spending time is foreign because there's no time up here and there's no spending because up here is an unlimited life. And this one, within so many years will be spent out. Does that make sense to you? Can I get an amen? Oh, thank you, Cameron, for the thumbs up and the hearts. Good. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Jolie, Jan, Peta. Thank you. So you're with me, right? All right. Well, let me cut to the chase. So right now, I was looking back today in some of the videos that I did in 2020 and 2021, because that was a time that COVID was coming on, the darkness was coming on, and it was going to be a fight for our very souls. And I tried to pull that video, but time constraints, I didn't get it. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to go back through my videos and pull that one up for you. But it was about February of 2021. And it was back in when they first announced COVID and told us to go home. And I came on here and I told you it was a fight for our very souls, not our physical bodies, our souls. Because if you control somebody's soul, you control their life throughout all lifetimes. So they're fighting for our souls, the ambiguous they, the fear, the doubt people. And it's triggering the fear and doubt we had from when we were little, that our parents handed us willingly or not. Maybe you had a parent that was a single parent like I am, and you worked and worked and worked to make sure your kid ate and slept in a good neighborhood and went to good schools, and you worked your butt off. And meanwhile, your kid was like, I really just want you to be with me and spend time with me. And they didn't understand that you had to work in order to give them a life. And it's horrible. And they're feeling unloved and unwanted. And then they carry that. I wasn't good enough for my mother's love. I wasn't good enough for my mother's time. So I must not be worthy of anything. So I'm just going to grope through life. And it's simply not true. So most of you know I have a daughter, and when I get done with these lives, I go home and we play games and I talk to her and I love on her, and she knows it's just a little time that I spend here. So what I'm telling you is this universe, this planet that we live on, we are being called to action right now. We have been in the throes of the war for the fight for your very soul, which started a little bit before COVID. That's what time period we in. That's why we're in the book of Revelations for those of you that follow that kind of writing. If you don't, that's okay. So I'm going to ask you, is your soul, your life for all eternity worth fighting for? Or are you going to sit there and say, well, these energy shifts will quit after a while and I'll quit being in pain and life will go back to normal and it won't be so bad. I'll get over my depression, my anxiety. It's all right. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to give up? Are you going to let the ambiguous they that drive fear and doubt take a hold of your soul and own it? Or are you going to fight? Or are you going to flow? I used to fight. It's exhausting. And now I'm learning to just flow. Flow, 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 flow. Much easier. So, this coming up Saturday, I took all of my tools that I know how to flow and what's been working for me for the last 2 months, the last couple of weeks, especially, and since about 13 years ago when I first stepped into full time doing this. I've always been on a spiritual journey. I'll have to tell you about that in my upcoming book. But I've always had a spiritual journey. But about 13 years ago is when the boss said, you got to step up, you got to get out there. So I'm going to teach you in real time in a Zoom room. You don't even have to take your slippers off. How to communicate with your higher self. That's your divine aspect. It's you, the higher self, God, spirit, source, or the universe, however you see that. And if you don't know how to talk with this one and pick up the energies of what's coming up, like one of our lovely Camerons was listening, he says, should I take a step forward? I had an aha moment. The aha moment, that's your higher self telling you this is what to do to move forward, period. You don't, that's it. So now he knows to pay attention to that. And there's other signs that you'll be given from this divine aspect of yourself that connects you to God that says, hey, the stuff is coming. It's that little inner voice. And a lot of us have squashed it over the years because we've been told when we spoke up with that inner voice, we were bad or wrong. So we squished it. And so I'm going to teach you, show you, and give you real time on how to open that back up again, that communication. And it's so important because the fear and the doubt is over here. And if you have that connection, fear and doubt, can do this a little bit, but you always straighten out. Fear and doubt, will be on the outside instead of running through you. I'm also going to help you to understand what your guardian angels are telling you. And I'm also going to show you how to open your heart. How to open your heart for self-love. Going to take about 90 minutes. And all the things I'm throwing in, some downloadables or printoutables, or if you want to call that, things to take with you, as you go forward for 2023 and through the Christmas and New Year holiday, then come join me because I'm more than happy to help you and love you up and let you see this. And it's about all these things individually I'm teaching in the 90 minutes would be about $700. And my desired outcome was to help more of you wake up more quickly. And I know some of you are in financial crunch. So it's $60 and you can bring another person with you. Okay. So if you really think about it, it's $30 a person. And you're going to learn some skills that are going to help you to navigate for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. And you'll feel so much lighter and so much more at peace. So I'm going to ask all of you that if you think that's of value to you and you'd like to join me, then please either here on Instagram, it's in the bio, here on Facebook, it's down below. If you're watching this and you're on neither one of those platforms, you can go to tools, TOOLS, of energyprotection.com and click on Holiday Special 2022 and it'll tell you all about it. And that starts this Saturday. Today's 12/7/2022. It starts this Saturday at 10. And I will not be answering any kind of emails or reach outs an hour before that time because I have to get ready. So don't wait. And the other thing is, if you're like, well, I don't know, I'll kind of wait. I put a limit on how many people that I want in this event because I'm doing it live and in real time. And the desired outcome is to help each and every one of you. So if you're struggling or having trouble, we can work on that very quickly during that time. And if I get too many people in the room, I won't be able to touch each and every one of you, to send you love or open your connections. Okay. So don't miss out because once it's full, I'm going to close the doors and you might be going over there on Friday going, oh, I'm going to register now. And you're going to find the doors are closed and there's no more room. And I'm not going to offer this again. A $700 package for 60 bucks. Mm-mm. No, no. This is a one-time shot. Because I know that there's light workers out there that are just hurting, feeling an overwhelm. And we want them on the side of the light. We don't want them covered up with poop. All right. So let me look over here on Instagram. I thank all of you for hanging with me. I know I was on a little bit longer tonight. These messages are so important. And once I get started, it's hard for me to stop. All right. And it looks like a lot of you were able to relate to that. So, Jan, Joelle, Peta, Tammy, if you all are connecting with that, bring a friend. Give them a Christmas present they're not expecting. You can't buy it at a store that starts with a W or a store that starts with a T, you know? Stephanie, Stephanie waves hello, and Cameron gives a heart. All right, I did miss one person. Tammy, if you're still on, can you give me a thumbs up? I'm sorry, I missed you earlier. Sometimes these feeds go so fast I can't read all the questions, and when I scroll back, I don't catch them all. So Tammy, my beautiful lovely, you said, is my new career taking off and my finances stabling? Also, move happening soon. Okay, so Tammy, you got the full enchilada, girl. All of these changes that are going on, star seeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, their lives are being shaken, some of them shattered, to get them to wake up and to get rid of the stuff that's not honoring you in this life, so that you can bring that light in, and you can be blessed by the universe, God, spirit, or source that much faster. Because if you hang on to the old, no new can come in. And so, and thank you for the comment there, Tammy. Your new career and finances stabilizing, it only depends on what you do in the next 5 weeks, is what the guides tell me. It depends on what you do in the next 5 weeks. So as soon as you open up this self-love and you ask to see the truth, the love, and the light, and you see what's really happening in this world and in your life, you're going to see that light, no problem. It's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, what I'd like for you to do is go to toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on comment, I think it is, or contact, and send me a message. And remember that I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, Colorado. That's one of the only places I now do live readings where we can see each other eyeball to eyeball. And I am there all day Thursday. Yes, Tammy says, sounds right, getting rid of the dark. I will be there all day Thursday from 11 to 5. And I only have like 2 or 3 slots, I think, left there. And then Friday is Fair Friday. So for those of you that are like, your pocketbook or your credit card needs a break, that's the day for you to sign up. And of course, those times go so quickly. And you can book half an hour or an hour there. And we'll work on these things. And if you can't make it this Saturday, then let's have a session time for that. And what we'll do is we'll identify what's blocking your heart, clear those energies out in real time. Most people tell me they feel so much lighter when they're working with me. They feel like a weight has been lifted off of them. They feel like they can see the truth, the love, and the light. And that's what we're doing. And Fair Day is the best day to do it because, it's a discounted rate, and, you get a chance to meet me. So it's 303-964-9339. Deborah says she misses me. It's one of my regular people. That's awesome. Thank you, Deb. So that's it. And I thank you for joining me for the entire time and staying on. And big hugs to all of you. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, because this is Wednesday. Love you too, Deborah. And give the store a call, and let's get you on the books and get you taken care of. And then this Saturday, if you're ready to learn about self-love and you want to know how you can clearly communicate with your angels and your guides, what are they telling you? You're talking to them, but you feel like they're not answering you, which is not right. Then come on. and let's do it and get you rocking. And there's lots of juicy bonuses in that. You can go read about it on toolsofenergyprotection.com under holiday special, or the link in the bio, or the click down here. All right. So, anyways, let's do it. And I shall see you soon.